jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know. The first in the building. Mike is on deck. What's good? Salute, WCS. Salute to you, brother. Shout out to Carlos in the building. I see you on deck. What's good? What's good? I'm not going to be on here long. All right? I just want to kind of touch bases on some current events that may have interested you. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want to talk about the sport that's pretty much replacing boxing at the Olympics. I want to talk and get your take on that. So, what we've learned is that, you know, every day there's news is breaking. Whether you want to talk about the news, that's a different story. But we have heard news that Canelo is fighting Edgar Berlanga. Okay? So I have listened to some individuals talk about this fight. I'm going to get my take on it, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you have your take on, you know, what you grade this fight as far as being on the horizon. You know what I'm saying? And let's take it from there. So let me log in right quick. Hold on for a second. It's been bad weather down here, so just give me a minute. Shout out to Cannabis Education. Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz and more on deck. The OG in the building. What's good with it? I see you. So basically, Canelo is fighting a Puerto Rican. Munguia, huh? Taking shots already? Dang, let me get my live started before you start taking shots, man. Come on, man. You know, people out here defending this. But, you know, let me not jump ahead of myself. All right? So let me start off first and get it out the way. And speaking about the sport that's going to be replacing boxing. You know what I'm saying? Boxing has been in the Olympics since I don't know how long. There's been fighters who benefited from the Olympics and fighters who didn't. And we already know there's been some of the great names out there that was robbed. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if they suspended the judges after the fact. They should have reversed the decisions so it could have basically right the wrong in history. It does no good to suspend, you know, those who was caught in the scandal, but yet you don't do anything about the decision. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Boxing is being phased out the Olympics for now. I'm pretty sure several years, but Olympics every 4 years. It'll come back, sooner than later, or whatever the case may be. So let me talk to you right quick about breaking. Breaking is about to become a part of the Olympics, y'all. Those of you b-boy hip hop, break dancers back in the day, or to this current day, you're gonna be tuned in to the Olympics because I ain't gonna lie, I watched the Red Bull dancing. I was a dancer, semi myself at one point in time. I just think dancing is an art, and it has come such a long way since back in the day. But it says right here, right? It says the Olympics brings the world's greatest athletic talents to the same stage, creating a unique energy that based on equal parts competitive spirit and genuine admiration. And this year, a new sport is entering the international arena, breaking, commonly known as breakdancing. It's the newest Olympic sport after having been added to the Paris 2024 Games lineup in late 2020. Mm, mm, mm. Needless to say, the hype around the sport is real, but you may be wondering how exactly is breaking scored? After all, it seemed like most of the artistry involved in breaking is relatively subjective. Okay? Now, I'm not going to get into the breaking and all this. All I know is it does take freaking skill. I do like the art of creating movement. The sport has come such a long way. And I'm just saying, how long are they going to have breaking integrated into the Olympics while boxing is no longer in the sport? This is the final, the Paris Games that we're going to see boxing for quite some time, from what we understand. Is it going to break some people's heart? Yeah, probably, because we used to seeing boxing in the Olympics, and we can root for some of the fighters that we know, that may be competing or, qualifying for the Olympics. Of course, we're going to miss boxing in the Olympics. Of course, man. But unless they can sustain a fair scoring system and it's absent of corruption, it doesn't need to be there. Because just like in the professional ranks, is corruption and everything that goes on with fixed fights. The same thing goes on in the Olympics. It's a fact. The same thing goes on in the Olympics. There's no doubt about it. The same type of protocol and handshakes and all this freaking side dealing that goes on. Hey man, it happened in the Olympics and it robbed us of some pretty good gold medals that should have been around the necks of some greats. If you don't know, Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga. Okay? I'm pretty sure you was minding your own business today on Tuesday. And then you say, "Oh my God. Is this for real? Are we going to be able to see Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga of all people?" I mean, what do we have to say about Canelo that has, over 60 plus professional bouts? A legend of the sport. Represent Mexico, 34 years of age. You know what I'm saying? He just came off a whopping performance against Jaime McGill. You know what I'm saying? A whopping performance against Jermell Charlo. A whopping decision win over John Ryder. Oh my God! Let's just put all the fixing on it. A trilogy with Gennady Golovkin. I know you saying to yourself in the chat, "Oh my God, why did he had to bring up Triple G again?" Man, that made my evening. I love it. I'm gonna sleep well tonight. That's a total of 4 fights from September 2022 to freaking May of 2024 that Canelo has been in fights that certain people will say he's not the same since he lost to Bivol. Now, we know his first loss was against Floyd Mayweather, but the loss against Dimitri Bivol at a higher weight class that he held a title up before didn't go as planned. So it seems like he's been just tapping the clutch a little bit, fluttering the clutch, and just, granny shifting. Yeah. Canelo's been granny shifting, as far as his next opponents. After that Bivol loss with an old Gennady Golovkin, Ryder, Charlo, and Munguia. Now, let's do a little research. Besides the freaking Puerto Rican flag, you know what I'm saying? What will attract boxing fans to Edgar Berlanga? Besides those who up here that's willing to support the Puerto Rican boxers, regardless, of what they haven't accomplished in their career. It's such a triple, quadruple, Cinco de Mayo standard. I swear to you, yo. Some of these cats will sit up here and criticize the heck out of other fighters. But yet when it comes to their fighter and a flag that they wants to represent, they just overlook all the criticism and say, that's the best fight. Yes, Mexico, Puerto Rico. Yeah, we want to see this fight. Come on, bro. Come on, let's pay attention right quick. Let me share screen right quick, if you don't mind. If you're not doing anything, let me share screen right quick. I want to bring up Edgar Berlanga. Okay, somebody call him Berlanga. Okay. That is Edgar Berlanga. All right. So, what we do know about Edgar Berlanga is right here, Demond Nicholson. That would be the first fight that he went the distance, and your boy won so much money off him going the distance. Oh my God. He in April of 2021, he went the distance with Demond Nicholson, who was knocked down several times. He knocked down Demond Nicholson several times in that fight. And if you see right here, where's all the details? I guess they said it's not even worth putting up there. Where's all the details of the knockdowns, right? Let's keep it moving. Okay? He's still undefeated, okay? He went in there, Caceres, Steve Rose, UD. Where are the knockouts? It seems like the knockouts has all but vanished, just like a missing persons report. You know what I'm saying? Ever since Demond Nicholson, when he went to UD for the first time, where are the knockouts? We're not talking about McCory. Where are all the knockouts in between? Okay, so he goes to this one with Jason Quigley. Quigley knocked down once each in the third and the fifth round, and twice in the 12th. He couldn't finish the fight. Okay, then he goes in here and a McCrory fight. Oh my God, stop it. And we really don't need to talk about this, but check this out. Let me go up here. Let me try to log in first of all. Let me just come back to that. Anyway, Berlanga is 22-0 and 17 KOs. All right. 27 years of age, still young, 6'1", 73-inch reach. Berlanga is a cool dude. I like Berlanga, but I guess he has made the decision to say, you know what? I need to be the bad boy. Now, why is it being the bad boy different for certain people? I always bring this up because, like I said, Jahad Tucker, it seems like he was put on freaking timeout for, calling out a Puerto Rican fighter. He got punished for it. I hope that doesn't last, too long or whatever, but he called out a Puerto Rican fighter and people didn't like that. But Xander Zayas is not in this division. We have another Puerto Rican fighter that is, ticket seller that used to be with Top Rank, right? And he was let go for whatever reasons. So now we come to the roundabout, like I always say. I've been using that a lot more lately, a roundabout, because it allows you different streets to get off of, right? We have Edgar Berlanga, who's been pretty much giving us telltale signs, hints that he was gonna fight Canelo Alvarez. And we're like, okay, we done heard this before. We done heard fighters come in here talking about they gonna fight this fighter, that fighter. We done heard it before. And then we seen Berlanga at the fights where he was disrespecting Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? And then we said, well, that'll be a good fight for Berlanga. Being that he doesn't have the resume. He's been disrespecting David Morrell, a person who has held the WBA regular title at 168 pounds. And also um he's at 175 now, set to fight for another WBA regular title. Now, what to note about that is, I've said time and time again, it'll be a good fight. He's 22-0, and freaking David Morrell has pretty much a lesser resume. It's almost like Marjamov. You know what I'm saying? Marjamov has very minimal fights, experience-wise, but he's holding the title. David Morrell's the same way. He's held the WBA regular title. But everybody that I ask about Edgar Berlanga facing David Morrell, they say, no, it's not a good fight for Berlanga. You know, he'll get trashed. I'll say, okay. So I continue to look at the competition that Berlanga was fighting. And then it get to a point where the hints that Berlanga was, you know, putting out to the fans when he was going around disrespecting Morrell and Plant has potentially come to fruition. I'm saying, no, hold up. It has to be a rectangle theory. It has to do with astrology. This has to do with something astrological that deals with the constellation and the stars aligning and the force, you know, within, you know, going through a Milky Way, a black hole, and somehow a falling star fell a tip of it and hit somebody on their head. And when that star landed and impacted that particular person, you know, it affected them forever. And it just so happened to be the matchmaker for this fight. I'm just saying something strange and unique and crazy happened. Edgar Berlanga is potentially set to face Canelo Alvarez. And the reason why people are not making too big of a deal of it, because for one, it's Canelo Alvarez. Two, pretty much his last 4 fights has been okay. Third, he's able to do what he wants because I guess he's at a hierarchy right now. Just like Pacquiao. Pacquiao can come and go as he please. Well, Canelo can fight who he wants. And then you have to think about the amount of money, who's funding the fight, and everything else to go along with this. 5, you have to ask yourself, is the fight fans really going to complain since it's Mexico versus Puerto Rico? Are they really going to, you know, feel some type of way about it? I'm going to be honest, I don't think they will. Just because I feel some type of way about it, I don't think he rates that fight. I don't see him having no chance of beating Canelo. He didn't look all that good in his last fight. But just because of the flag bearers, people may let this slide by because, you know, boxing continues to give us the hocus pocus fights that we don't want to really see. And Berlanga, you know, at one point in time, yes, he was in New York selling, putting butts in the seats. But come on, man. Does anybody believe he has more of a chance than Jermell Charlo did? Seriously. Why they didn't put him in there with Plant? Why he couldn't go in there with Caleb Plant at least? That would have been a good fight. He said he'll knock him out. You know what I'm saying? He said he'll knock Plant out. So since Plant is a common opponent of Canelo Alvarez, why couldn't we set that up? Why couldn't we set that up? Why couldn't that fight be set up before he stepped in with Canelo? So this would be Canelo's fifth fight that no one wants to see. But then again, it's almost like Canelo is on a charity run. He's gifting fighters fights with him and a payday. But yet the fight fans aren't calling for this fight. They're not calling, they're not requesting. They're not sitting up here sending in a petition. They really don't see, they want to see Edgar Berlanga fight Canelo. But maybe if we're talking about true to the core matchups that we want to see, Caleb Plant and Edgar Berlanga, in my opinion, will spark up a bit more current to light up that bulb of interest within the fight fans. I think it will. This right here is just it's a one-sided affair. It's a one-sided affair. I don't see no upset. I don't see no close fight. I think this matchup is strictly to set up a potential fight between Crawford if it happens. Crawford goes in here, and Turkey Al-Sheikh keeps on mentioning it. Crawford has said that he, definitely is on board with that fight. I'm thinking that Canelo may look spectacular in this fight. Berlanga's going to pick up his first loss. Canelo's going to look spectacular. And then people are going to really start talking about, okay, Crawford really don't need to go out there and fight Canelo because look what he just did to Berlanga. If he did that to Berlanga, then imagine what he's going to do to Crawford. You know what I'm saying? You know how they just start talking. They start guessing. They start just creating banter, pushing those narratives with square wheels. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I think I see right here. Canelo's going to look very good. And then potentially, possibly, we might see a future matchup with Crawford and Canelo for millions. I truly believe that Turkey Al-Sheikh can make that fight. The reason being is that if you look back at the Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury fight, the word is that they made over 100 million over there. Tyson Fury made 100 million plus, and Alexander Usyk made 100 million plus. So if what we thought was impossible before, you know what I'm saying, with Canelo Alvarez asking about 150 million, that's not impossible no more for him to face Crawford. Crawford himself will definitely get the highest payday of his boxing career if Turkey Al-Sheikh is able to lock in that fight with Crawford Canelo. Crawford may potentially get close to 100 million. It's not out of reach anymore, y'all. Like the conversation that they used to have over here about, oh, so-and-so's not worked. The game has changed, man. We're not playing T-ball no more. You know what I'm saying? We're not bunting. Turkey Al-Sheikh ain't bunting. He's not. He's coming over here to make fights that are home runs to the fight fans. Period. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to hit home runs out the park with these fights. Stick 'em boys, fishing and sports on deck. Salute, salute. Yeah, Roy Jones, man. Shout out to the legend, for real. WCS, I've been seeing them shoes pop up on your screen a few times. I know you ordered a few pair. I don't know what you're saying. What shoes? I don't know what shoes you're talking about. I don't know what shoes you're talking about. What shoes are you talking about, Carlos? But let me know in chat. Shout out to Jessica, the queen in the building. Salute to you. I'm not sure what shoes you're talking about. But that's where I see this matchup with Canelo and Berlanga. I think it's a preamble to a potential Crawford and Canelo fight. I think that it's a high possibility Canelo may stop Berlanga. He went the distance 5 of his last fights. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm talking about Berlanga. Um, I see him potentially, possibly getting stopped by Canelo. Seriously, I do. I think with, I mean, what am I talking about? Canelo going the distance, but Berlanga getting a knockout his last fight. But but him and Canelo is pretty much on the same decision streak. You know, Berlanga, his knockouts disappeared after going the distance with Damon Nichols until he just had his last fight. And that was supposed to be like a fight to set him up for Canelo. And then you got Canelo, ever since his loss against Bivol, he has 4 decision wins. But more so, you know, you're talking about Golovkin, Ryder, Charlo, and Munguia. I mean, it is what it is, man. Everybody kept hyping Munguia up. Munguia, 40-something plus fights. You know, he's won. He's ready. And, man, come on, man. It wasn't even a close fight. He got his clear knockdown, his single confirmation knockdown in the Munguia fight. He got his confirmation knockdown in Jamel Charlo fight. He got his confirmation knockdown in the Ryder fight. You see the trend here? You see the trend? He couldn't do that with Gennady, but the signature one knockdown that has to be in the contract. One knockdown, at least, minimal. So he got it with Ryder, Charlo, Munguia. He's more than likely going to knock out freaking Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga's getting knocked out. And that's going to put the hype back in the headlines that he's going to go ahead and potentially, you know, people going to start saying, oh, Crawford's not going to go the distance. It's going to be a knockout. You know, they want to send the boxing fans in a frenzy. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you know, it's about to be a Puerto Rican sacrifice going on. Period. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be a Puerto Rican sacrifice going on. And Canelo's going to be doing the sacrificing, you know, on the end of his gloves. He's going to be the one that's showing Edgar Berlanga, hey, I got you payday. Now it's time for you to be the lamb. You're the lamb to slaughter. And he's going to goddamn go in there and stop Edgar Berlanga. Seriously. One knockout loss is not going to ruin Berlanga. I mean, just look at Charlo. Charlo had no problem going in there and losing to Canelo. No problem. He already lost to Tony Harrison. And a lot of people say he lost to Brian Castaño. He had no problem going in there. McGill, 43 professional victories, had no problem going in there taking that L against Canelo. John Ryder, for Christ's sake, had cinco losses already. He had no problem. Gennady Golovkin had one. He was hosting one loss. You know who that loss came by? Canelo Alvarez. He had no problem going in there taking a second loss because he was a good little boy. And Canelo came back around and said, it's your turn. You're up. It's trilogy. Nobody talked about this trilogy. Nobody talked about this trilogy. The first and the second was all they needed. And then he stayed, within the kindness and fairness of the Canelo banter. You know what I'm saying? Banner. So he got then sent that, contract back over there and they fought. But what do y'all think about that fight with Edgar Berlanga? Does he have a chance? You know what I'm saying? Does Edgar have a chance to shock the globe? Shock the hourglass? Does he have a chance to shock the hope of the casual boxing fans who believe that he has a window of opportunity for Canelo Alvarez? Do you believe? Do you believe that Edgar Berlanga is the right opponent for Canelo Alvarez? Do you think that the fight fans would be convinced if he goes in there and stops Berlanga? It would hype up the Crawford fight that much more because right now Crawford fighting at 154. You can't sit up here and play out the same song and dance anymore. Use the same instruments. Talking about Crawford, he gives me nothing. I get nothing. Canelo can't use that BS no more because you don't get anything from Berlanga. You didn't get anything from Hummy McGill. Nothing from John Ryder. You see where I'm going with this, Canelo? And you definitely didn't get anything from fighting Gennady Golovkin for a third time. You know what I'm saying? So he can't use that no more. He get nothing. Yeah, you get something. You're gonna get a huge payday. You're gonna get the black versus the Mexican boxing fans, if the blacks even have a freaking fan base in boxing. I don't know. Every time I turn around, they got they rooting for the other guy. But you got black boxer, superstar pound for pound against the Mexican superstar pound for pound. It has all the fixings, has all the grades of approval at this stage with Turki Al-Sheikh behind it to be huge. For real. We don't have to worry about Crawford going over there and being a good little school kid like Jamel Charlo was. You know, when Canelo say face to front, left, face, he faced the front. Heels together, thumbs on the trouser seam, heading out straight to the front. Mouth is shut. Picture, pose on 3, 2, 1. Oh, he was following them Canelo instructions really good. See, Crawford's not going to play along as no little good boy. You ain't going to be telling him, instructing. It's going to be different. It's going to be some trash talking. Yeah. I think it's going to be a very low meter of conformity when it comes to Crawford. People even think he's going to kiss Canelo's ass. I don't think so. Y'all. I think it's going to be somewhat similar to Caleb Plant. I don't see why Crawford would feel that he has to go in there and be nice, super nice to Canelo Alvarez. He should have the same energy Caleb Plant had. I want to see Canelo Alvarez push Crawford like he did Caleb Plant. I want to see if Canelo Alvarez is willing to get physical with Crawford and try to disrespect him. I just want to see if he's willing to cross the line and take Crawford to a place that he ain't been. You know, outside of Jose Benavidez and, you know, the fights he's had with, you know, the trash talking, but nothing like when Jose Benavidez pushed him and, you know, he swung with that right cross. No. We're talking about different type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Is it there if this fight is the next one for both fighters? I would like to see the Canelo Crawford fight before Crawford retires. If Turki Al-Sheikh is the one to throw the extravaganza, I want to be there to see that fight. I think it's a very, very good fight. Shout out to KING on deck, man. What's good? I want to see that fight, definitely. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Definitely. I want to see that fight. Besides that, you know, we should do it again tomorrow. I say tomorrow, but then I sometimes come back, but no, I had so much to do today. But shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. You know, keep your eyes peeled. You know what I'm saying? And drop the comments. You know, after the live is shut down, on what you think about Canelo versus Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts, because not too many people gave their thoughts in the comments. So give your comment on the video once it's down. I appreciate it. You know, I definitely try to leave a comment. Most of the time I do respond certain individuals that's keeping it on boxing rather than try to make it about race and all this other stuff. But yeah, continue to support, man. Till next time.